Hey, what's going on, everybody out there? I just had I had a death in my family, and this death was basically he was a good friend of mine, and his name was Manuel Carita Ruiz. We called him Carita back in the day. My father and I, and they basically, his name was that because to me, he had such a face. He had a face that anyone could really, would always remember. You know, so basically, that's just it. Carita or cara is face. So um, I just want to make known to him, his family, and to anyone who has ever lost an elder. He was very special to me. I mean, he was the first black man of Dominican descent that I truly admired. I never thought when I was a child that any black man could be with his family and take care of his family and remain, with the family. Of course, the man wasn't, perfect, but he certainly showed me an example that I could always live by even to this day. Is that you have to stick with things that make sense. The family always makes sense. To try to build a nation, you always have to have, your family unified under basically that foundation, which is if anything ever would happen among anybody within the unit, then things will be taken care of in accordance with whatever needs to be, taken, whatever needs to be knocked out in regards to love, in regards to financial, in regards to, mentorship and what have you. That's what family members do for you. So, for the most part, today I'm really at a lack of. I'm trying not to be because this man meant so much to me, and I couldn't find myself being, I told my father, as far as, lack of words, I told my own father that it would be best that since he was his very best friend, and not just a drinking buddy friend, he was a real, he was a strong brother for, a brother figure for my father, and he's distraught about it, and I can't blame him because even myself, there's so much to say about this man, and I can't even piece together at this moment what I would want to say off the cuff. But normally I have no problem with these things, but today I really do. Now, all I could do is really go back to the beginning of when I met him for the first time. When I was a kid, I remember we used to hang in the projects, and basically in the poor neighborhood in the projects, we hung out in what people call the parking lot. We hung out in the parking lot, and back then, what we did in the parking lot, we played dominoes and stuff, and we worked on cars and played the music and stuff. We played salsa or rumba or bomba or you know um, merengue and all these forms of music. And I remember him being a black man in this group. And of course, when I was a kid, see, people of Caribbean descent, we didn't categorize ourselves as white, black. I mean, yeah, we identified like look, he looks a little morenito, or he looks negrito, or whatever. We identified color, but we didn't identify that with with placement in some other society. We used to look at ourselves as that of Cuba or Panama or this or that. You know what I mean? So for the most part, I saw this man for the first time, and I was just mesmerized by him. I mean, he was a tall, lanky man. I mean, beautifully brown skin, had these soft curls. I mean, he was a good-looking man. I'm telling you, he was good-looking statesman. I'm telling you, Obama don't got shit on this man. So, excuse me, President Obama. President Obama don't got shit on this man, because I would have voted for him 2 times. You know, so the point is that this man, for the first time I saw him, he is all that I ever wanted to be. You know, I mean, a man that walks with humility, a man that can talk to you and really just make you feel comforted by what he was saying, and it didn't even matter what he was saying. And I felt that I would one day want to be like him. You know, I love my father, of course, but there are always things in other people that you find that are so unique. And in this case, his humility was very unique. His soft hand. I mean, I remember we used to shake hands. You know, sometimes you shake hands with a grown man. You kind of grip that hand. You go, "Urgh," you know what I mean, to show you a man. But he gave such a light hand. You know, not like a punk hand. You know what I mean? But he gave a hand that he looked at you and he said, "I'll see you later." You know, I mean, of course, he spoke Spanish. Readily. He hardly spoke any English. But I remember how he used to call me back in the day Don Pepe, and I used to love it when he used to call me Don Pepe, like Sir Pepe, back in the day, like the Don Juan. I was like the Don Pepe. So, and of course he mentioned that because, of course I was small and I was basically like his little mascot. But I loved him because he expressed in me the very best in what I am today. And I couldn't thank him more for that. I love this man. This man was my brother. He was part of the what we call the African diaspora of people who were oppressed, whether they be Spanish or French, the Spanish or the French or the Italian or what have you, any African that has been oppressed and still can have that kind of humility and that kind of love for anybody. He had it for me, and I've become exactly what he would have wanted me to become, which was a shining example of what we can be as a people. And I loved him, and he reminded me of my grandfather a lot, and I remember I love this man so much because he was just such a gentle soul. And all I can really tell you out there in YouTube land is that when you have somebody in your midst that you can learn from, and that basically that you enjoy their company, and you can really sense that this person is so much more to you, you got to remember that people don't last so long. You got to remember that if you intend to bring about something in this world, that your elders have the key to those things. All you need to do, they have the key of knowledge. All you need to do is apply that, with all that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that we have as black people. Well, we must have, because the understanding is the part where you must put application in. And we have the wisdom. Our elders have it. We have it. As basically, if you're old enough, we have it. And we certainly have knowledge. All we have to do is apply these things that our elders would have wanted us to apply. And hopefully we can build that that unity among all of our people, so that we can have a self-esteem that can shine throughout the world as Pan-Africans. That's what the brother taught me. Manuel Ruiz, a black man of Dominican descent. And I loved him very much. Peace, y'all.